Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And as you can see on the 4-hour chart, we are still doing absolutely nothing. So I think we're still trying to get another low, or maybe we'll just go higher. As you can see on the RSI, we got above the moving average right there, but other than that, there's not much going on, and if everything goes well, we should be able to break above this red trend line over here and then get to about $1.05 in the fifth wave move up and still get an ABC after that. And of course, like I said yesterday, this could already be a 1-2 setup. And well, if this was the 1-2 setup, we could be in the third wave, and what we're doing right now, this move to the downside, could just be the first 1-2 setup of that third wave. So if we actually get above $1.25 when we start going up again, then I'm going to assume that maybe we are already in the third wave, and it would make sense because we did just have a cross on the bull market support band. And as we know, after we have a cross on the bull market support band, that's when the price usually goes up. But even if that's the case, in the short term at least, I mean, here in 2024, as you can see, we had a cross and we did not instantly go up. It took a couple of months to start going up. So yeah, this cross was in July, so we still have time to go up. Obviously, I think we're gonna continue, going to the upside, but I don't know if it's gonna be right now or in like a week or two. You have to know that right now we are at the end of August and there's something extremely unusual going on. If you look at the Bitcoin chart, we talked about the scenario a couple of days ago, but I told you that we might get a drop in September, and the drop that we were expecting to get in September actually happened in August this time, which is extremely unusual, like I said. And here we are about to have a cross on the bull market support band, and honestly the chart is starting to look exactly like it was looking back here. I think this was, at the beginning of the year, which is not a good thing, because if we are doing something like this again, Bitcoin could even drop back down to like maybe $90,000, maybe even less than that. So we don't really want to see that, but if we are still getting the September drop that we are getting every single cycle, it could be the case that maybe we are actually gonna drop below the bull market support band and the 200-day moving average, and we're gonna go down for like a month, and then maybe at the beginning of October or so, that's when Bitcoin finally wakes up again after getting, let's say, somewhere in this area for the fourth wave, and then we still get the fifth wave. I do have to mention, and I mentioned this many times in the past, but Bitcoin always gets a new all-time high after dropping in September. This is an example in 2021. Here we went down, as you can see, from 53k to 39k, and as you can see, after that we still managed to form new all-time highs. And the exact same thing happened in 2017 as well. As you can see right here, I think it was, no, actually right here, we went down like 40%, we tested the bull market support band. Here we were also about to have a cross in the bull market support band, but all of a sudden the pump started and that put us at new all-time highs. And this even happened in 2013. Not many people talk about the 2013 cycle, but here we went from $135 all the way down to $86. And actually, if you look at this chart right here, the pump happened exactly, in September, so it did not start before that, which is very interesting because if history is any indication, this is telling us that in every single post-halving year, Bitcoin went down in September, but before that it was going up in August, and right now we are doing the exact same opposite thing. So maybe you could say that the pump that we were supposed to get at the end of September might happen a bit faster this time, just because we already had a correction. So we'll see if that plays out or not. And you have to remember, here in 2021 we tested the bull market support band and we stayed above it. So if this is what we are doing, we should get a bounce pretty soon. I mean, we are already at the bull market support band, so we should see Bitcoin get another high over here and maybe get to $137,000, and then we could still drop, although I do have to say we might not drop after that, and we might actually just continue with the fifth wave, meaning this drop was the fourth wave. But obviously I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know that Bitcoin will probably top in November or December of this year, because that's what it did in the previous 3 cycles. And other than that, I mean, Ethereum will probably top in January and ADA will probably top in January as well. Before I talk about ADA, I want to talk about the Ethereum chart for a second, because here, let's actually go in the monthly for this. If you look at the RSI, we are not even overbought, and I think this is telling us that we are probably going higher. So I think we're getting somewhere between $6,400 and $12,000. And why is this important? Because if that happens, ADA will start outperforming Ethereum like it always does after it breaks its all-time highs. For example, here in 2021, as you can see, after it broke its all-time highs, Ethereum was at this point of the cycle, and from this point on, ADA went up like maybe 30x, and Ethereum only went up like 3x. So at some point, it is gonna have to happen again, because that's how cycles work. And other than that, let me go on the ADA chart. Actually, before I do that, let me go to the Bitcoin chart real quick, because I have to talk about the RSI on the monthly. If you look right here, we're about to test the moving average, and if we drop below the moving average and stay below the moving average, that could be an early sign that the bull market top is already in and that we might start going down. But you have to understand, even if that's the case, even if we get a move like this over here, or a move like we did in the previous cycle over here in 2017, you have to understand, after a move like that, even if it's impulsive, we usually get another leg up, and that leg up could even put us above the previous all-time highs. So I don't think this is the top. I think even if we go down right now, the price will probably recover at the end of the year, and that's gonna be the real top. And then we can start, what we had over here. So I think the bear market will start next year, actually for Bitcoin this year in December. And as long as we stay above that moving average on the monthly RSI, we are fine. So now going to the Cardano chart, Cardano is still waiting, like I said, for Ethereum to get to its all-time highs again and to stay above its all-time highs. And after it happens, I think we could actually finally get something like this over here. And as you know, the wave count is also the exact same. So we're pretty much just waiting for the exact same pattern to play out the exact same way again. Please remember that everybody was bearish on Ethereum down here when it was at like $1,400, and I told you that it's probably going to recover, because on the weekly RSI it got to the exact same RSI levels every single time, and then after that it bounced. So I think the exact same thing will happen to Cardano as well. It might go, lower in the short term. I don't think we're gonna get below 50 cents, by the way, but we might get a correction in the short term. Everybody will start giving up on it, and that's when it will finally start going up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.